So you either have your product or service ready to sell right now, or you're just in the process of getting that finished up and you need to know what to charge. Now, this is a very difficult topic for beginner entrepreneurs because it can be quite daunting thinking, I don't want to overcharge people, but equally I don't want to undercharge them and me not take home as much money as I could be earning. That's why in this video, I'm going to help you to price what you're selling. This applies to physical products, digital products, and services as well, okay? Let's get started. So before we get into the actual specific prices of you should charge X amount for this and X amount for that, we need to be aware of 3 golden rules. And here they are. Number 1, the price that you charge for your products or services should not depend on the amount of stuff in that product or service. Instead, it should be about the value, okay? It's all about value. So think of it this way. How much do you think I would sell this piece of paper for? A penny or less, right? Realistically, it's not worth much. But if I was to write my bank details on here, let's say like this, then how much do you think it would be worth? So, of course, it's going to be worth a lot more, right? So the amount of value that something has is not determined by the amount of stuff, because of course that piece of paper is exactly the same, just with a bit of ink on it, right? It's instead about the value that you provide to people. Similarly, do not, cram all bunch of videos, PDFs, and everything you can think of into a product with the hope that you can charge more money. That's why with some upsells, you may find that they actually have a higher price than the main front-end offer, even though there's less stuff inside them, because it's all about the value. Second, you should never compete on price. So don't be one of those people who looks at your competitors' price points and thinks, you know what, if they're charging this amount, I need to undercut them and therefore everyone's going to buy from me. That is not a good long-term business strategy. For one, it could also run you out of business. So instead of doing that, focus on the value that you provide to your customers instead. And that is not just the stuff that you put into the product or service, but also the customer experience that people have with you as well. Not to mention the fact that your marketing should be better than your competitors as well. It should create a better relationship with your prospects and generally have a better connection with them. That way your prospects will prefer to buy from you instead of your competitors, even if they charge a higher price. Third, you should be aware that you are not your prospect. Look at this from the outside in. Even if you think something is expensive, or if you think something is underpriced for the amount of effort you put into the product, you are not your prospect. Instead, look at it from your prospect's perspective and the choice they have in the market, and then price your products and services according to that instead. So with that said, let's get into the numbers. So first and foremost, if you're selling physical products, you obviously need to take into account your manufacturing costs if you have any, or any wholesaling costs or anything like that. Basically, how much does it cost you to actually get the product to the customer? And that includes delivery and everything else. What are your hard costs? Factor that in, okay? Then you would look at your competitors' price points, and again, we're not comparing ourselves to them, but we take that as a rough guideline of what people are prepared to pay, and then you factor in how much money you would like to make per product. Okay, so maybe it's $5 per product, so you make 10 sales, that's $50 in profit, or whatever else. But factor in all of your hard costs. Don't just look at your competitors' products and think, you know what, they're charging this amount, therefore I can do the same. Because your marketing fees may be higher, your manufacturing fees may be higher, your drop shipping fees may be higher, and so on and so on. So don't price yourself too low that, yes, you are undercutting everyone, but there's a reason why nobody else is doing that, because they want to make a profit and you won't be. Now, if you're introducing a physical product into the marketplace and not many other people do it, or nobody does it for some reason, then you're the first, congratulations. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, but either way, what you can do is first and foremost, factor in all of the hard costs which we just mentioned. Number 2 is to ask your audience. We're not playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire here, but we're playing the online business version of it, okay? So you need to ask all of your social media followers, all of your Facebook groups that are related to your topic or your niche, and basically ask them, hey, I have this brand new product. What would you be prepared to pay for this product? Something even more wild you can do is actually set in your payment processor a pay what you want feature. And this allows people, or your prospects in this case, to actually just type in a number and pay you what they think it's worth and what is fair. Now, as a business owner, you would think that most people would just put 1 penny in that box and then everyone would pay the cheapest possible price, right? However, most people have a conscience. So what they'll do is they'll actually give you a fair guesstimate as to what they think is worth, and then you can use that data to influence your future pricing. Pretty cool, right? Now let's price some digital products. First and foremost, you need to know whether you're selling business to business, like agency services, SEO services, website design stuff, basically anything that would result in the business you're selling to making a profit based on that investment they make, or business to customer, which is when you're essentially selling to the public. If you're selling business to business, you can of course command a higher price point for your services and products because they're seeing a direct return from that investment with you. And that means that it's not uncommon to see price points ranging from $2,000, $10,000, even $50,000 and more. And that's what we've charged for some of our services in the past because of the fact that people are getting incredible results out of it. I mean, these businesses do not hesitate dropping 10K if it means they're going to make 100K by the end of it, right? And that's a win-win for all parties. So with a business to business niche, you can expect to have your front end offer starting at a minimum of $497. Now you might think 497, why the 7? That's really weird. Why not just 500? Now, of course, you can play around with the numbers and stuff, but in many studies and split tests that I've done and other marketers have done in the past, we found that ending the price in a 7 often increases conversion rates and sales overall. Don't know why. I think it's something to do with the fact that it seems a bit discounted and like it's the end of the line kind of sale feel to it, but I don't know. We always price our stuff ending in a 7 for that reason. It just seems to work better for us. But of course, feel free to test it. Now, 497 should be your starting point here, okay? From there, you should have at least 3 upgrades for different services at higher tiers, okay, which will of course provide more value to your prospect. So in most agencies or B2B kind of businesses, what you will have is your front end offer as some kind of video course or coaching program or mastermind program like that, where it's a kind of one size fits all thing and people have a small amount of interaction with you. From there, the next product in your product line should be priced at about $2,000, or in this case, $1,997, just to get the 7 on the end, right? Now, this is typically something like a coaching program with more one-on-one kind of interaction with you or one of your coaches or employees or whatever, or some kind of consulting service where it's direct interaction one-on-one with you, or some kind of mastermind, right? So $2,000 is typically the average place to start, and this can be increased as high as $10,000 when you get more proof of your ability to help people and more people in that program. Then on the higher end of the spectrum, on the very kind of premium level, we have the done for them option. Now with business to business stuff, this is quite easy to do because it's all mostly online nowadays, and you can actually do the work for them. So this will involve either building their business for them, running advertising for them, building websites for them, whatever it may be. Do the stuff that you're teaching them in the front end stuff, in the back end stuff for them, right? So basically your front end is all about, here's how to do it yourself. The middle offer is all about, here's how to do it yourself with our help. And then the stuff at the top would be $10,000 or more, which is where you do the work for them. Okay, but what about if you're selling business to customer? In other words, you're selling to the general public. Stuff like weight loss, survival stuff, make money online, that kind of stuff, right? Now, in our experience of working with hundreds, possibly even thousands of coaching clients over the last 12 years, and also making over 8 figures in revenue for ourselves and our coaching clients as well, we found a sales funnel strategy and process that works really, really well from the get-go and is often a great place to start to springboard for more testing of price points as well. And that one is, we start with a front-end product, which is typically a video course or ebook collection or something like that, priced at $27. By the way, this is all in US dollars as well. So $27 is a great entry point for your prospects because it's not too much that they have to, ask their spouse or, look at their bank account and see, oh, do I have enough for the rent this month if I pay this or whatever. It's kind of like an impulse buy. It's still in that realm of an impulse buy, but it's not to the point at which they would need to consult somebody else. So they can just go ahead and pay it without really thinking too much about it. But equally, it gets them into your company. It gets them through the door and it gets them interested in your future stuff as well. Of course, if they have a good experience with you with that front-end products, they're going to want to buy more stuff from you as well to grow their results and ultimately improve their life, right? So $27 is a good springboard. Then we have the first upgrade or upsell, if you want to call it that, as $37. So this is in addition to the $27. So it's not like they pay $10 extra, it's $27 and then an additional $37, okay? So this enables people to often get results quicker. So this slot is often an accelerator program or like some templates or anything that they can just, speed up their results, essentially. How can they make things easier for themselves? What can you give them to shortcut their process? That should be the first upsell slot, priced at $37. After that, we jump up to $97 for something where it overcomes a big problem they will encounter in the front-end product. So in my case, I know that a lot of people's problems really revolve around content. Like, I don't have the experience, I don't have the expertise, I don't know what to write and whatever else. That's why we offer a kind of like a vault of lots of different content, PLR products that they can use just in their own business without having to do that stuff themselves. So it's kind of doing some of the work for them. Again, not doing everything for them because that would be annoying and time consuming, especially for a one-time price. But $97 for something where you kind of solve a problem that they would encounter in the main front-end products. Now, of course, this doesn't need to be giving them something that just converts a lot better. It can instead be something like digging deeper into one of the topics in the main program. For example, if one of the main topics in your main program was Facebook ads, for example, you could have a whole course dedicated to Facebook ads, sell that as that upsell slot instead. It's really up to you and it depends on your niche. Now, the final slot in this initial upsell flow would be $497, where you do the work for them in some capacity. Now, of course, with some niches, this is easier than others. So in my niche, for example, we set up a basic website for people and get them off the ground. However, if you're in the dog training niche, for example, unless you go there in person, it's going to be more difficult, right? So in this case, if you can't do something done for them, in a done for them kind of capacity, what you will do instead is provide some sort of ongoing membership program. You've seen the ones like Netflix, Amazon Prime, that kind of stuff, where they give you new content all the time. You should have a Facebook community and stuff like that. And then on the back end of that, of course, they're able to access the members area and access all the stuff they've purchased or not purchased. Now, of course, keep in mind, all of these upgrades are optional. So this is just a rough idea to give you an idea about the price points that you should charge for this initial upsell process. And all of these should be one-click upsells to maximize that ROI from acquiring the new customer, right? Now, after that, of course, not immediately because you want them to settle in and access what they've already purchased. But after that, what you should do is then try to upgrade them into some sort of coaching program on the back end, starting at least $1,000. At least. If you're charging below $1,000, this is really undercharging. So definitely increase that to about $1,000. And you think, well, people aren't going to pay me for that. I don't really know much. But they're not paying you. They're paying for the outcome, right? And the outcome is worth a lot of money to them. Keep that in mind. So $1,000 coaching program, awesome. From there, upgrade it to about $2,000 and then subsequently $3,000 when you get more and more proof of your ability to help people, when you get more testimonials from your coaching clients, and so on and so on. Finally, we have the ultimate offer in your funnel, which would be the ultimate done for you kind of offer, where you are doing a lot of the work for them once again. So it's not like the $497 offer where you're doing one aspect of the thing for them, but you're doing everything you possibly can think of for them. Like, think of what is their ultimate end goal? What is the magic bullet that if they had right now, they would pay you $1 billion for it, right? And then charge them about starting at 5K and then increase that to about 10K, then 20, then 25. Obviously, some niches are different than others. And don't say, James, this is only applicable to the business niche. It is not. I know people in the self-development industry who charge $25,000 for a mastermind or some kind of done for them solution, and it works incredibly well. So what I'm giving you here is based on proven experience. I hope this has helped you. I hope you've got a ton of ideas now. If you have got some ideas or if you want to run something by me, definitely leave a comment below this video and I will be glad to help. If you found it valuable, go ahead and hit that like button below this video and go ahead and subscribe as well. Hit that notification bell to make sure you never miss a future video, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.